Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming out today. With me is Councilmember at Large Chuck Ellinger, Manager of Transportation Planning, Metropolitan Planning Organization, Chris Avilia, and Frontrunners Board Member Jason Schubert. I'd also like to welcome my fellow council members, District 2 Councilmember Shayla Lynch, District 3 Councilmember Hannah Legree, District 5 Councilmember Liz Sheehan, District 6 Councilmember Denise Gray, District 10 Councilmember Dave Savigny, and District 11 Councilmember Jennifer Reynolds. And we also have members of Streets and Roads and Public Safety out here as well. So thank you all for coming out. We are very excited today to announce our Transportation Expo happening this Saturday, October 19th from 9 to 11:30 a.m. at the Marksbury Family Branch Library. This event is the result of the hard work of the Public Input Subcommittee, chaired by Councilmember Hannah Legree. Members also include myself, Council members Chuck Ellinger, Shayla Lynch, and Liz Sheehan. And I also want to thank my colleagues on the subcommittee for prioritizing equity in our work, outreach, and improving our processes for civic engagement. I also want to acknowledge the staff that has made this work possible, namely Jennifer Sutton, former council research analyst, and Hannah Iden, 3rd District legislative aide. Today is an opportunity to introduce the community to our first Council Issues Expo, and it also serves as a celebration of the work that we've accomplished so far. So thank you to everyone who has been a part of that process. The Urban County Council's Public Input Subcommittee was established in 2023 to explore and innovate the ways in which the Council can receive public input from the community. It was created in part as a result of the 2022 Public Input Report from CivicLex that highlighted barriers Lexington residents face in participating in public meetings. In just under 2 years, the Public Input Subcommittee has updated public input expectations and guidelines, modernized the public input process, secured funding, and hired Council's first public information officer, Jillian Reisman, and introduced the online public engagement tool, Engage Lexington. That is a lot of work in 2 years, but you know what? We're not done yet. The subcommittee has also been working on ways to engage the public outside of the government center and out in the community. Public comment during our work sessions and council meetings, while an excellent opportunity for residents to share with council, is not a dialogue. And we've heard from our community that they want to engage with us in different ways and in different places. And that's why this Saturday we will be meeting you out in the community. An Issues Expo is designed to invite community stakeholders to an event about one topic, held by decision makers and subject matter experts. Saturday's Expo will serve as the foundation for future engagement events held by Council in our community. We want to join you where you are, and we want to give you the opportunity to engage with members of city government, community organizations, and your council members. So now I would like to introduce Councilmember at Large Chuck Ellinger to share with you all the details for what you can expect from this event Saturday. Councilmember Ellinger.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We're excited to share more details about the Urban County Council Transportation Expo happening this weekend on Saturday, October 19th at the Marksbury Family Branch of the Lexington Public Library on Versailles Road. We invite you to join us anytime between 9 and 11:30. We'll have a brief welcome at 9:45 from Councilmember Hannah Legree, who has led the effort to make this happen. Council members will also be offering a themed story time for our youngest transportation users, which will start at 10:30. The Expo is a casual drop-in event and will cover a range of topics, transportation-related topics, including bike and pedestrian safety, public and mass transit, and road improvement. It is another opportunity for residents to connect with decision makers, share their experiences, and contribute to the conversation about the future of Lexington's transportation system. The Public Input Subcommittee chose transportation as a topic for this event because it impacts every district, every resident, and every visitor, and every member of the community. I've been on the council for 18 years, and we've always tried to get ideas of how we can get better out in the community so we can interact and engage with the public. We thought this expo would be a great opportunity to do that. Each individual has their own unique experience with how they travel around our city, and we want to hear about those experiences. As an avid cyclist, I prioritize road safety and quality for bikers, pedestrians, and drivers. We're working on our complete streets. We have hired a new manager, Brandy Peacher. We also are in the process of having a Vision Zero coordinator. Unfortunately, I was watching the news on Saturday, and they had, from the Kentucky Transportation Department of Transportation, they had the statistics for Kentucky's bicycle fatality since 21. We had 9 deaths. In 22, we had 13 deaths. In 23, we had 17 deaths. And this year so far, we've had 8 deaths. In pedestrian fatalities since 21, we've had 76, in 22, 96, in 23, 120, and this year to date, we've had 79. Unfortunately, that's not a good trend. Luckily, Lexington, up until last year, was trending down. We need to see what we can do, and that's why we want to have this expo. How can we do a better job with our transportation? It's important to me and my fellow council members that the people who live, work, and visit here feel safe and comfortable getting from place to place. This event will help us understand our community's experiences and identify the barriers that we can help address. We hope you can join us on Saturday. Now, if you cannot attend but you would like to give input, we've got a great online public input tool called Engage Lexington. I hope you are registered, but if you're not registered, please visit engagelexington.gov and tell us how you move. Thank you. And at this time, I'll call Chris up here with the MPO, and you can give us an update. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Council Member. So I am the director of the Metropolitan Planning Organization, and the reason why I am here is because a lot of the priorities that we identify as a community as being important and that need to be worked on and need to be funded originate out of a transportation planning process that is part of a federal program called the Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO for short. So we are, as I mentioned, a federal program. We actually represent more than just Fayette County. We also represent Jessamine County as well. And the idea is to bring together our various communities from those 2 counties, along with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, along with other transportation stakeholders such as LexTran or BG Cap Transit, and to have a conversation about what those priorities ought to be really for the next 25 years, and how do we better address the question of getting people from point A to point B safely and in a reasonable amount of time. And so this expo that's coming up on Saturday is an excellent opportunity for folks to find out more about what that transportation planning process is and how they can be more involved in that process, which then informs our elected leaders on what the priorities of our community ought to be. Now, one of the things we know we're going to hear is that Lexington has a number of challenges. Councilmember Ellinger just mentioned one of the really big challenges that's high on our priority list. So knowing this, and knowing that folks are going to be communicating to this, we want to provide some homework for our residents when they come. And part of that is we want them to not just think about what are their daily challenges trying to get from point A to point B, but how can we better address those issues, and what are some of the impacts that we might have from some of those ideas. And then what we ask folks is, when you come with an open mind. We want you to consider all reasonable options, and knowing that sometimes the most beneficial option isn't necessarily the most obvious one. And so if We're asking you to come with an open mind. Our pledge to you, the residents of Fayette County, is that we will also have an open mind as we hear your ideas. So we encourage everyone who's interested to come. We are looking forward to having a conversation this Saturday with you. And so now I'd like to introduce Jason from Front Runners, who'll speak on a bit on the bike ped side.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Vice Mayor Wu and Council for having us here today. So my name is Jason Schubert. I'm a board member with Front Runners Lexington. We're an LGBTQ plus walk run group here in town. We create a space for athletes to find community and bond through our common interest in fitness. We're open to all community members. We have folks who walk 2 miles a week, folks who run 40 miles a week, and everywhere in between. We're also a registered nonprofit that does about $10,000 in grants every year to community members and organizations and individuals working to make the Bluegrass a better place to live. We've been active in Lexington since 1982. We host weekly walks, runs, social events. We participate in races, and we coordinate an annual Pride Run 5K in September. We're also part of an international organization with over 130 chapters around the world. So why am I here today? For our organization, running and walking and biking are core to what we do, but we understand it's not just a form of exercise. Oftentimes, being a pedestrian can be someone's primary mode of transportation, and sometimes being a pedestrian can be dangerous. Our group has seen this firsthand, as last year one of our members, Mia Ibrahim, was killed in a crosswalk when a driver ran a red light. We know it can be dangerous to be a pedestrian, but we know there are proven ways to make our city safer for Lexington. Pedestrian safety is a priority for Front Runners, and our organization appreciates the opportunity to connect with the greater Lexington community about this issue. Front Runners is committed to making our city a safer place for all pedestrians, and we're excited to partner with the city to make this a reality. We'll be tabling at the Transportation Expo this weekend, and we invite community members who are passionate about this issue to stop by our table and sign up to be a part of our efforts. Thank you for having us here today.
Thank you, Jason, for your work in the community and for joining us today and Saturday. Thank you all again. Thank you once more to our council members, our staff, and our community partners that have made this work and this event possible. We look forward to seeing all of you at our Transportation Expo this Saturday, 9 to 11:30 a.m. at the Marksbury Family Branch Library. Thank you all for taking the time to be with us today, and we are happy to take questions one-on-one. Thank you. Thank you all.